We're cutting the ribbon on a wonderful project. It's about a 6.5-mile stretch of I-10, widening to 3 lanes from Highland to LA 73, but more importantly, we've added safe capacity, not just capacity. So we've added 10 and 12-foot shoulders respectively on different elements of this project. We've moved very, very well in terms of connecting this to other projects, both in the Baton Rouge area as well as Ascension. And so we are now at 73, which is a major dropping off point for traffic. And at Highland, it's another major dropping off point for traffic. And then PQ, once that's finished, it will be another major drop off point. So this is going to save anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, depending on where you're commuting, on your inward commute and your outward commute. This means that we're one step closer to having the maximized interstate system we have. This $72 million went a long way, but that's only 6.5 miles. So that'll tell you a little bit about what it's going to cost and why we need additional resources to be modern, to stay with the economic opportunities that we see here in Louisiana and across the country to be competitive. So this is an exciting project. It created a tremendous amount of jobs, but more importantly, it's delivering government for citizens the way they deserve.
The I-10 widening project, which is certainly going to be a big breakthrough for us as it relates to traffic congestion and transportation. I'm so glad that not only do we have this project that we're celebrating, but PQ Lane is in the works. And of course, all of this ties into our Move EBR project, which is going to all fit in together. And so this is a perfect example of collaboration between our state and local government, and so I'm very excited to be a part of this ribbon cutting today.
I'm Shawn Wilson, Secretary for the Department of Transportation and Development, and I am excited to be here today to celebrate another completed project, a project that we started a couple of years ago. I want to say it was February of 2018, but this project started a little bit before that. And it's designed to provide some immediate relief on the interstate for about 90,000 travelers on a daily basis. And so we're excited to open this project and cut a ribbon. And not many projects open exactly when you say they were supposed to. And so we actually pulled cones down last week. And my phone started ringing about 7 o'clock in the morning. And the first person that called me was Secretary Phillips who lives in Ascension. And she was so grateful for this project because she didn't know what was going on. It was much smoother than it had been before. So we're excited to be here. We've got a few voices that you're going to hear from. The next voice is going to be the gentleman who made much of this possible because he's been extremely supportive of the department and some of the special initiatives that we have here going on. And this is a product of that. This is the result of his hard work. And it's none other than my boss, the guy that took my seat in the shade, Governor John Bel Edwards.
Thank you, Shawn. It is great to be out with you all this morning. I am very happy that the legislature left the Capitol and I can go out and resume normal activities. But there's nothing that's more rewarding than to come out and celebrate with a ribbon cutting of the completion of an important transportation infrastructure project. And that's what we're doing this morning with the widening of I-10 between Highland and LA 73. I want to thank the President for being here. Thank you very much, CLINT, and also the Mayor President for being here with us this morning. You all should know you can just hear the steady traffic behind me. And of course, earlier in the morning, it's actually heavier than that. It's going to be heavy again later this afternoon. But traffic congestion causes problems, whether it's with respect to commerce, with investment, but also just quality of life issues, and also safety issues. So this widening project here in East Baton Rouge and Ascension has been a priority for the state for a very long time. And we put our money behind it. Shawn's going to give you the figures in just a little bit. But when we were successful in landing a competitive discretionary grant for I-10 in Acadiana, we took the money we were going to spend in Acadiana and we put it here because we knew how important this project was. More than 95,000 motorists a day pass behind me. In a few years, that's going to be at least 110,000 motorists per day. That's why expanding Highway 10, Interstate 10, to 6 lanes instead of 4 from LA 73 to Highland was so important. And there were also 3 bridges that were improved as a result of this project. The Highland Road overpass was reconstructed to be one large overpass that included an additional lane in each direction. The Bluff Road Bridge was raised to meet the new federal standards, and the I-10 over Bayou Manchac at the East Baton Rouge Ascension Parish line was widened to accommodate 6 full traffic lanes. So investing in infrastructure continues to be a priority. Since taking office in January of 16, more than $3.7 billion has been allocated to 1,503 projects throughout the state, benefiting more than 5,000 miles of roadway. $154 million of the investments have been used for projects in Ascension Parish, and $364 million for projects in East Baton Rouge Parish. So this project is just one and the latest example of how working together we can create infrastructure that will improve the quality of life for our citizens and improve our economy. I want to thank everyone who was involved in this project. SHAWN, you and the folks at DOTD have been tremendous. I will tell you, SHAWN's leadership, they have been very imaginative, they've been creative, they've been aggressive in new funding strategies that have been brought to bear that have never been used in Louisiana before. And it is paying dividends. And I'm not going to pretend we're doing all we would like to do, but we're doing an awful lot with the resources that we have. And that's because of SHAWN and his folks at DOTD.
You know, back in February of 2018, James Construction began work on this 6.5-mile stretch. This project is valued at about $72 million, and it was a design-build project, which allows us to accelerate the plans and the construction to save time and ideally introduce additional value. But this project was not without its challenges, whether it's hurricanes, as the governor just mentioned, or storms, whether it's dealing with homelessness and what's happening under our interstates all across the country, or something as simple as a pandemic that disrupts the ability to work and to construct and to continue doing what we know is essential. This project was able to proceed with the help of many very talented people. And as the governor mentioned, this stretch includes 6 miles of expanded capacity, but more importantly, you've got 10-foot and 12-foot shoulders throughout this corridor, which is really our first and most important principle of transportation, which is preparing for safety and managing those conditions. As the governor mentioned, that there are over 95,000 cars a day that travel through this corridor, but this is not just about today, it's about our future, and we're expecting this number to consistently grow. The commercial opportunities and advantages offered by this completed project are immense, and it's one of the busiest surface freight corridors for the state, dealing with Baton Rouge, New Orleans, all of the ports, all of the connections that occur all across the state of Louisiana, and of course the bedroom community of Ascension. Projects such as this demonstrate a dedication of this administration to show improvement in Louisiana's infrastructure, and much like the governor said, we're not doing everything that we should, but we're doing the best we can with what we have been given, and then some. Without the level of partnership that we get across the state, but more specifically here in this capital region, we wouldn't be able to deliver some of the outstanding projects like the college flyover or the college improvement that's going to be starting pretty soon, as well as the widening of that bridge and that corridor from the bridge to the 10-12 split. None of that would have been possible without the help and the commitment of the next voice you hear, who is President SHARON BROOME. She's been a vocal supporter of what we've been doing at the department and putting her money where her mouth is, whether it's the Move BR project, but also supporting us when we need match to be creative with our work. So right now we're going to hear from Parish President SHARON BROOME.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being out here today. Thank you, Governor Edwards, for inviting me to take part in this celebration of the completion of Interstate 110, I-10. This widening project is going to be transformative. I also want to thank Secretary Wilson and the Department of Transportation and Development. for their continued commitment to upgrading and modernizing our state infrastructure systems. So good to see you, my colleague, President COINTMENT, who is also here as well. You know, it's one thing to have a vision and to start a project, but to see it complete is a great, great feeling. Projects like this help all Louisianians. That is why it is important for cities and parishes to work collaboratively with the governor to promote infrastructure projects like this that connect our families and connect our economies. Interstates like I-10 serve as lifelines for our state and local economies, especially as we continue to navigate this global pandemic. Like the veins in our body, they connect what's needed to who needs it. Traffic congestion often slows down this essential function, and projects like this one are a key step in increasing capacity and allowing goods and services to flow freely throughout our community. As Mayor President of Baton Rouge and East Baton Rouge Parish, it has always been my mission to create a community where we can move safely and efficiently. That is why I'm so determined to make sure that our MOVE EBR program addresses congestion, makes our roads safer, and invests millions in our local economy and creates thousands of jobs. You will notice that one way we're working together with the state is with the new Piku Lane interchange about 1.5 miles from here. Like the widening of the interstate, the Piku Lane project will also reduce traffic on I-10. It will help us demonstrate bold and transformative leadership, which will continue to move East Baton Rouge Parish forward. Thank you to all of our partners who have been involved in this, to the state, to our parish partners, to all of our individuals in my department at City Parish Government who makes these things happen. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Mayor Broome, and you are absolutely correct that you don't get a chance to break ground and cut a ribbon on as many transformative projects as we have. So it's exciting to be able to do that with the team of people that we have. So the next gentleman is someone who wasn't here for the groundbreaking, but is certainly here for the ribbon cutting. But more importantly, the first thing he said when he walked up was, we've got some other segments to do to get down to 30 and to get down to 22. So he is very focused on other projects that we need to get done. And I will tell you, we've had the pleasure of working with the Ascension Parish President on this project towards its end, as well as the 22 roundabout. And I appreciate his commitment to infrastructure and willingness to invest as well. So let's hear from Parish President from Ascension Parish, President CLINT Quintmo.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone that was involved. I want to thank the Mayor President, the Governor, Secretary Wilson. You know, when you run for Parish President, you tend to zone in on your parish and the projects within your parish, but even more important are regional projects that affect us all, because traffic doesn't stop at parish lines. And so as we grow as a region, these projects are even possibly more important than the projects that we have inside our parish. And so this is extremely important to the region. It's important to Ascension Parish. And we have $500 million in salaries in our Highway 30 corridor. You know, these people don't just live in Ascension. They live in East Baton Rouge, they live in Livingston, they live in EBRP, and we all migrate to our work. We have a lot of Ascension Parish residents who work right here in EBR. And so these type of projects not only are an economic stimulus and it's a job creator, but it's also a quality of life. And that's what's so exciting about projects like this. You know, I always preach infrastructure first, and these are one of these projects that allows us to grow as a region, allows us to grow as a community, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least are the people that work inside of DOTD that make this all possible. And so back in 2016, when I became secretary, we created an office of innovative procurement in that first term, and we moved some of these projects to fruition that are really changing the face of Louisiana. And I am always proud to acknowledge and thank those people who work with us to make that happen, because they sometimes go unnoticed and many times with folks in traffic and congestion unappreciated, but we so are grateful for what they've done on this project. So the project manager was Peggy Jo Payne, who's in the back. She's also our Director of Innovative Procurement. Standing behind her is Todd Dunbar, our District Administrator. We've also got Aaron Elazar from the Ascension Parish Area Engineer, Chad Robeek from the East Baton Rouge Parish. We have a project team from James and Primoris. I see them here, as well as representatives of Blokert Engineering who worked on this, and Sigma Consulting. Without this public-private partnership, and this is daily what we do in transportation, projects like this would not be possible. And then last but not least, I want to thank the many residents and businesses and motorists who've been patient with us, some more than others and some less than others, but that's the nature of the beast with the delays and the inconveniences related to infrastructure. And so, in summary, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank you all for wearing your mask, because in this pandemic, it's still very important for us. I think I saw there were 60,000 new cases across the country just yesterday. And I think the governor mentioned that a couple of days ago we had our highest number in a long time. So we've changed some of the souvenirs and takeaways from our projects to help you and keep you safe, because safety is important to us. And so please take an extra mask and share it with someone and ask them to wear it proudly, because you can be our best commercial for additional infrastructure when they see DOTD and ribbon cuttings completed. And so right now we're going to ask all of our speakers and dignitaries, and I'd ask all of our consultant and contractors to join us in this first picture, and then we'll do one afterwards with our DOTD staff that I announced to cut a ribbon as well with the governor. So thank you all for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the new 3-lane corridor on I-10. On the count of 3, you ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. This was a pretty easy project in terms of working with the community and working with adjacent businesses, because they understand the need, they understood where they were prior to this. Most importantly, we know that there is additional work to be done on Highland. We left maximum capacity for all kinds of solutions there. And then this also highlighted a little bit of a challenge that we're starting to see here, but also around the country, is the effect of homelessness in the footprint of interstate systems. And so we've learned a lot on this project. We've getting constantly better at what we're doing, but more importantly, we enjoy just delivering infrastructure.
It will mean that those individuals who are coming in and out of the southern corridor of the parish will have relief. As you know, we have people who live in Baton Rouge and travel in and out the southern quarter of the parish, who go to work maybe in another parish, and vice versa. We have people who live in other parishes who come here. So this particular widening certainly will impact not only our regional transportation and mitigate traffic regionally for us, but it will also help with the interstate traffic that goes through Baton Rouge on a regular basis.
How can people get more information?
Well, they can go to dotd.la.gov. 511LA is always the best place to go for traffic. We're now going to be a little bit less active on that site, because what used to be construction updates is going to disappear today now that the project is officially open. So we're excited about this. Visit us on all of our social media platforms, and feel free to call the department if you have any questions or concerns about your state's infrastructure.